The home and away season is upon us. This is EFL TV, thanks to Ferntree, Gully, Holden and HSV, your local community dealer. And joining me as always on EFL TV is part of the big EFL media team, Lauren Wood. She's back. G'day, Loz.
Thanks for having me, Half. I'll apologise for the voice now, but hopefully we'll get through. We'll see how we go.
Sexy to me, Loz. That works for me.
It's
we'll
all
just
about
keep
the
that
husky.
going. I might let you talk all session. Now, talk to me about the season launch. We're getting ready for a big 2012. We had the launch.
We did. We had a fantastic night out at Ferntree, Gully, Holden. You might notice their new offer up here behind us. We've got to point this way.
It's a beauty.
This week. But 250 odd people down at Ferntree, Gully, Holden. So we've got to send a big thank you to Brett Field and all the guys down there. So they certainly looked after us, all of our sponsors, and it was a great turnout. We had Sam Mitchell, one of your old mates, on board. So he was there to have a chat about the new Yarra Valley Water Initiative, which is all about drinking tap water. So Be Smart, Choose Tap is their message. So he was on hand to have a chat about that, hosted by TJ, of course, from our principal sponsor, Channel 9.
Excellent.
We also had Alan Turner was there to talk about the Zadie's Rainbow Foundation initiative, which you'll see plenty popping up about in the coming weeks as we head towards the Queen's birthday weekend. And there was also plenty of other special guests, including the new broadcast manager, Ben Warren-Smith.
Ben Warren-Smith, wow, that would have been special.
It was, and it was all topped off by another one of your mates who you had on today, I believe, Des Dowling from Funny Guys. They've got a fantastic offer up for clubs when it comes to having a comedian on board for your functions. So you can read more about that on the EFL website.
Funnyguys.com.au is where Des is from. He's a star, don't you worry about that.
That's
There's
right.
also a few initiatives to recognise club folk coming in 2012, which is fantastic.
There are. We talked about in a few, I think it was our last week's episode, about our new sponsors in Trojan Tools and Bendigo Bank. So they're on board when it comes to recognising volunteers, because we all know clubs wouldn't operate without them. So Trojan Tools is an interesting one. They've launched the Club Workhorse program. So make sure you get onto your clubs about nominating your club workhorse. So essentially the person that is putting in the 1%ers around the club. They might run the bar, the barbecue, anything like that. So your club
Put
can
up the fences.
Exactly right.
Game day?
That's right. You've got to get the gate money. So that's the main thing, isn't it? All your club's got to do is nominate their club workhorse. So generally about 100 to 150 words to send into the inquiries email address on the EFL website. A photo of the person and, basically just a spiel about them, what they do. They'll be featured in the record. And then your club will be sent out about 4 or 5 Trojan Tools stickers to stick up in the workhorse area of the club. So as I said, it could be the broom cupboard, it could be the bar, it could be the barbecue area. Whatever your workhorse area of the club is, take some photos, and in return, a great offer to make some money for the club. So Trojan have put up $400 worth of product for every club that does this. So a great opportunity to raffle it off, auction, something like that. So make sure you get on to whoever is taking care of it at your club, usually the secretary, and make sure they nominate.
Not just Trojan, but that's a great idea, by the way. The Bendigo Bank getting involved in this initiative as well.
That's right. You might remember last year in the record and on the website in particular, we made a great feature of volunteers as part of the 50-year program. So in keeping with that theme, I guess we want to keep recognising the volunteers. And so Bendigo Bank have jumped on board. Again, asking for nominations for clubs. For someone that's given great service to your club, it doesn't necessarily have to have been over 50 years, but someone who generally puts in plenty of hours with those 1%ers once again. So if you can nominate them through the inquiries email address, again, about 50 to 100 words. We'll keep it nice and short for Ben when he has to edit the record. They'll be featured, and great to see Bendigo Bank behind another community program.
Inquiries at efl.org.au is
the
the email address that you will be after there. All right, speaking of supporters of the community, Akira Medical, they've jumped on board. Yeah,
they've moved out to the eastern suburbs. It's a walk-in emergency clinic, so you don't need to make an appointment. You can just walk in, you won't have to wait. Generally a GP practice without the wait and the need for an appointment. So they've jumped on board sponsoring EFL Sunday, so it's now going to be known as Akira EFL Sunday.
Fantastic.
As well as the Akira Boundary Riders. So it'll be a nice little spiel for the boys to have to learn on a Saturday as they learn that new one. But it's great to have them on board. They'll be doing a bit of work with our trainers as well.
Excellent, great to have you on board. EFL TV loves Akira Medical. It's our #1 stop when we're getting sick. Now,
like me.
Speaking of the EFL media team, radio coverage is back this week. 2012 kicks off. We're back. Where are we?
I know, out at Mitcham this weekend for Mitcham versus Ringwood, so a big Division 3 clash out there. Kicks off at about 1 o'clock, headed up by Ben Warren-Smith. I mentioned him earlier, the new broadcast manager. So make sure you tune in from 1 till 6 on 98.1 Radio East. And you can also text through to the radio team. So
can you?
Make sure you grab a record at the gate. You'll part with your $2.50, but it's a great read, 64 pages worth with plenty of photos as well. So that's got the phone number in there, so you can text into the boys and give them a bit of a sledge.
So you can abuse them on air. That's great. That's
what
I get on SEN
abuse.
every day. I get abuse, flat out abuse all day, every day.
That's right. We need to give the number to Trout from Woodend. I think he'll be straight onto it. But as you say, round 1 kicking off this weekend.
It's going to be a very exciting weekend, very exciting year for EFL footy. So get along to your local team, and remember, 98.1 is the only place to burn a Saturday afternoon and a Sunday morning as well for Akira EFL Sunday. I'm getting it, see?
That's right. And the huddle too. Don't forget the huddle on Wednesday night, 6 o'clock.
Can't get enough of that. Good on you, Loz. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck with the voice, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you then.
Rightio, time now to turn our attention to the action on the field. We kick off all the divisions, apart from Divi 1 this week. 2, 3 and 4, the juniors on Sunday. The man to talk us through that is Benny Waterworth from the EFL media team. In fact, the EFL media manager. He's a star. Benny, g'day.
Hello, Harford.
You are a star.
Oh, thank you very much.
Don't deny it.
I don't know. I'm a very humble man, as you know, Daniel, but it's that time of year where all the coaches at the moment and all the players and all the people down at the clubs are just very, very excited, and they just want to get their teeth into the action. And only 2 more sleeps because it starts this Saturday.
Let's just blow the whistle and play the game. Now, Divi 2, Doncaster v Bayswater Trams Reserve. 2 new coaches for these teams.
Yeah, 2 new coaches. Adam Bester, your bestie, no longer at the Doncaster Football Club. He's been replaced by Andrew Trinquilli. And down at Bayswater, Bernie Deneen's Gonski and Neil Winterton from Mulgrave last year. Very good player. He'll play and coach with the Bayswater Football Club this season. Chris Anarkis, I talked about him a couple of weeks ago, Half. He had a very, very good game for the EFL Divi 3 and 4 side in the 9 News Challenge a couple of weeks ago. Looked really, really good. So watch out for him on the weekend. But this game's actually at Bayswater Oval, and I'm actually thinking that the big Bayswater Oval, I think, will suit the Bayswater side. Doncaster haven't been to Bayswater Oval in 2 years. Right. Last time they're in Division 2, so I'm thinking Bayswater will probably like to get their season off to the best start possible, and they'll probably do it at home.
Just where do you see Doncaster coming up from Divi 3? Where do you see them this year in Divi 2?
I don't know if they can make the finals. That's my personal opinion. EFL, nice hat off, but my hat on. I don't think they probably just have the class. They've lost a couple of good young players over the pre-season, so I think they'll struggle to make the finals this year. As
we speak of Divi 3, Mitcham take on Ringwood at Walker Park, the MCG of the EFL. GMAC will be all over us.
GMAC will love that one.
All over us.
Certainly, and one person who's all over the Mitcham Football Club is their president, Matt McCubbin, who I had a bit of a chat to a couple of weeks ago, and he thinks that quietly thinks that Mitcham is ready to take the next step up to the final series, mainly because of their recruiting. They've recruited the players they need for season 2012. They've recruited 6 players from Divisions 1 and 2 last year, including Julian Petrarca from Blackburn and James Katsiavos, who's gone from Bayswater, so 2 very handy inclusions. Ringwood have had a sort of very quiet pre-season. No one big gone on the transfer list for them, but they had a very disappointing season in their first year of Divi 3 last year, finishing in 8th spot with only 5 wins. So they'll look to try and boost that up this year. But I've just got the feeling that Mitcham, I think they'll announce themselves on Saturday. They are going to be, I think, a big player in Division 3 in 2011. I just get the feeling they'll have a good win against Ringwood in the radio game.
I hope they're a big player in 2012 as well, Benny.
That's the one.
How they go. Yes. Divi 4, as we move on, the Basin take on Ferntree Gully Eagles. Good rivalry, this one.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's probably, if you look at the 3 divisions, probably the game of the round out of all 3 divisions. So looking forward to seeing how this one goes. Big in for the Ferntree Gully Eagles over the summer. Bernie Ryan will coach the side in 2012. He's big time. He's a fantastic coach. Brings a wealth of experience and knowledge. Coach Muralbach to the 2009 Division 3 Premiership. So he'll be fantastic for that football club. The Basin have a couple of really good young players in Nathan Jones and Max Kruger. They've been around for quite some time, so the Basin are probably a little bit more skewed towards the youth side of things, while Ferntree Gully probably have a little bit more experience in that sense. So I just think that at Batterham Reserve, I think the Basin might just run over the top in the last quarter of the old legs of Ferntree Gully, as they probably just try to find their feet early on in the season.
The Basin unveiling a recruit, are they?
They are, and I think whether it's vice versa or not, he might have towed you up or he might have towed you up, Half. Just thinking Clinton King, a familiar name of yours?
Yeah, touted him up.
Yeah, you touted him up. Yeah. He, a former, of course, Richmond, Sydney and Collingwood player. He'll be lining up for the Basin on the weekend. And he also might give them that little bit of X factor that might get them over the line over the Ferntree Gully Eagles.
Right, they're matches of the round in Divi 2, 3 and 4. The under-17s kick off this weekend. Very exciting for the league.
Yeah, big time. They kick off on Sunday. 20 new teams in the junior league this year. So certainly looking forward to that. 323 teams is the last count in junior fixtures. So good luck to all the under-17s. And, of course, the new under-19s competition, which will start on Saturday morning.
And to all the juniors on Sunday, good luck. Have a great season. You'll hear all about it on EFL TV. Benny, you're a star.
Thank you, Harford. You're a bigger star.
Hard to argue with that. Thanks for your company this week. We'll be back very, very soon, possibly again next week on EFL TV.